Alright, gang. We are back for the longest interlude the Nightmare Detectives have possibly ever fucking had in their lives. And it is a most special day, because it is Flebs' birthday. So even though this will probably come out in April of 2024, in fact, I'm certain it will, based on our scheduling, I would like everyone to wish Flebs a happy birthday in the comments regardless. De-age him in the process. Yeah, it's also another great day because we got my new PC, so now we will no longer have audio tearing and everything can run smoothly. So we have so much ground to cover, and it's going to be a bit of a weird one because of the way it's kind of all going down. So I believe a lot of our stuff has been covered, but we're going to do a group thing, and obviously Fala is indisposed for this, so I kind of had a little idea, but you have all just been challenged by the Anti-Kythera unit, and they want you to basically go in for their challenge. And I have some nice soft music on, but you know what? I think we can get it back up there. So Azathoth cracks his neck, and he looks and says, well, this is going to be a one-on-one affair. Before we give a report, we want to see just what you're capable of. And, yeah, they want to test your might, essentially. Who would like to go first? Yeah? All right, bud. All right, I like it. I like the forward the forward prowess you've been showing after you violently eviscerated an NPC. Which actually you haven't had. No, that's true. It hasn't happened yet. You're right. You're right. It hasn't happened yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. That's fine. So we yeah, we will handle that at a later date. Okay, so I believe I need to double check. I'm just checking the unit, the group. Oh, yeah. Oh god, everything's so fast. You guys don't understand how satisfying this is. I can get everything up so quickly without worrying about audio tearing. All right. Oh fuck yeah, I know who. Trevor's gonna like this. Okay, buddy. You step forward and Shoujo walks up. Now, do you need a refresher on who Shoujo is, what Shoujo looks like?
No, he's the big guy, right?
He is the big guy.
Yeah, I know what he looks like.
All right, radical. You are both gonna roll just a simple sharp just to see. It's a simple turn order, but really this is about you know, whose might is stronger. Yeah, Shoujo. I don't think he even says anything yet. I think he's just kind of like, he's just kind of observing you. Yeah, you got a 5. So, Jimmy, you go first. Let me know what you're doing.
First of all, Jimmy would like to rage.
All right, go ahead and give me a tough roll. Let's see how long, cool roll. Let's see how long you can keep this under control. All right. I wonder if you should rage at all if you fail.
It's fine either way. I'm just. I mean, that's up to you. That's your call. We've just never.
I feel like if you. I feel like. I mean, you could just. I guess. Do you know what? How about this? I'm gonna give it to you. You can either not rage and be in human form, which will give you a -1 to all your attack rolls, or you can simply. You have no logic behind your. You have no control over the fight, and you'll just keep raging until you're put down. And you just roll or kick some ass every time.
I think we should. I do like the idea of not being able to rage on a fail. I do like.
Okay.
It makes it where, you know. I mean, yes, it makes me at a disadvantage, but I think it should. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's fair. So you like kind of pull off the bracer, and you go into Sasquatch form. And you, like, tense your body, and you just look at yourself, and you're like, oh. As you do that, because you're so used to kind of, even though you've had a few slip-ups, you're so used to being able to get what you want. You know, in terms of this is a latent ability. You hear, "You lack discipline," and Shoujo is going to use the bull charge. He runs forward, and he tackles you, and he drives you into the back wall. And it's a 12, and you were not paying attention, so you have no recourse. He is going to do 5 harm and a stun on you. Okay. When the dust clears, guys, it looks like he ran with him. In fact, what happens is he ran, he got momentum, pushed Jimmy off his feet, and then abruptly stopped and let the momentum carry Jimmy. He's standing there with this huge, like, what looks like a drum, like a traditional Japanese drum on his back, and he's just staring down at Jimmy, and he looks really disappointed, and he says, "You are an example of where I was once upon a time. Undisciplined, drunk on your rage. You will achieve nothing if you continue down this path. We have already seen your mishaps. Prove to me you can control yourself. Move me from this spot." And he sits down.
Okay. So, is he going again since I'm stunned?
Nope. He is. You can go. You're just gonna have a -1.
So I'll have a -2 then, right?
Yeah, you will for the moment. Yes. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Try to move him then. So,
This is obvious, by the way, but bear in mind, all the harm you guys suffer, it obviously will be back to normal when you're done in the fight. Just to let you know. No death here.
Alright, so Jimmy will get up off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Shake himself off. And I'll just roll a kick some ass to see if I can...
Yep.
Or should I roll tough to see if I can move him? I mean, I'm just asking because, I mean, that would be more like a
well, that's true. Right? That is very true. I guess, like, it depends. I mean, if you want to just move him and not use violence or, like, a weapon, then yeah, it's tough. If you want to use a weapon to make him move, that's... Like, honestly, bud, like, I want you to
okay.
take charge. You do what you want. Yeah. What would Jimmy do?
So, since I'm not uncontrollably raging, I would like to roll tough then.
Yeah.
So I could, well, let's see if I can do it first.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a clear head in terms of no rage. Your brain is kind of addled from the shockwave. All right, 11. All right, so, okay. Good shit.
So, Jimmy would just walk up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Look down, because he is sitting down, correct?
He is sitting down. He's twice your size, even in Sasquatch form. He's a big boy.
Well, I'm not Sasquatch anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Remember, because yeah.
Oh no, you took the bracer off, and I thought you went into Sasquatch form as you raged. No. Oh, okay.
No, without the rage, I just stay human form.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
That's fine. But Jimmy will look at him.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, all I got to do is move you?
I said move me from this spot.
Okay, Jimmy will walk behind him and grab him like for a German suplex. And just try to bridge him over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, on an 11, yeah, you deadlift him and pick him up, and you do. You move him from the spot. Before you can slam him down, he holds a palm out, though, to stop the momentum. And he says, "Good. You can follow instructions like a dog. Now show me the resolve of a man." And he is going to use the Liar's Thrust. He spins on his palm to get out of your grip. And the heel of his right leg hits you in the solar plexus. And it does 3 harm. No stun. Your stun's going to last 1 more turn, and then it's going to wear off. He stands over you, and he takes the drum off his back and places it down on the side. And he's just observing you. What do you want to do?
Again, Jimmy would like to stand up. And I will draw the sword off my back. And I would like to roll to kick some ass, please.
Alright, sword play. Nice, okay. Let's do it. 11, good shit. Alright, how's this look?
Nothing fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's gonna charge at him, I guess, and just in a downward arc, like from like shoulder to hip.
Good shit. So you're going for an overhead strike?
Yes.
Yeah. 11 it hits. The kettle drum he took up his back, he pulls it round, and you slice through it. And the rest of you hear this, like, almighty cut. And, when, the moment clears, Shoujo has caught the blade in his teeth. You've scratched the either sides of his lips, and, like, there's a little bit of blood seeping down his cheeks. And, this drum overhead, it is filled with booze, and it is going into his mouth. You did, 3 harm to him. And you've just taken 7 harm, right? In total?
No, I've taken 8 harm in total.
8 harm, okay. Okay, and you have how much?
I got 10.
Okay. Okay. Alright, then. Okay. Give me a sharp roll. No more stun. I'll let you have it just a straight one.
But I still have -1, right?
You have a -1 overall, just not a -2. Yeah.
Okay.
That's so good. Jimmy, you feel that sense of accomplishment, and he says, the spider climbs the thread and feels elation at every step it takes, higher and higher away from Gehenna. It looks down, marveling at the path it has created. However, and you don't see it before it happens. But the rest of the gang do. He moves in this unusual way, like a dance, and you're mesmerized by it. And right at the last moment, he hits you with an almighty palm strike to the side of your jaw. And the crack of a whip rings out. And Jimmy, your brain rattles around like pudding as your knees give out and you go to the ground. And because of how fucking tough you are, you stay upright, still holding that sword. And he says, "The spider does not see who holds the thread." And you go out. But before you hit the ground, he grabs you. And make sure you don't take any more harm. And he starts giving you some of the booze. The fact you laid a fucking sword on him, though, Chewy, from my perspective, bravo. Bravo. I was not expecting that.
It was, I don't know. It felt right.
It did. What do the rest of you guys think seeing this? Are you saying that about Shoujo, or are you saying that about Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Pff, wow, you are a bitch. Okay.
Deadlifts him.
Are you going up next, Victor?
No.
No? Are you recusing yourself? Are you not participating?
All right, you want me to go next?
If you want to, it's up to you, my guy.
Fucking go then.
All right.
Fucking go then.
All right. Shoujo is gonna put Jimmy. He's gonna sit with Jimmy actually, if Jimmy's cool with it, while you're still very much out, and drink with you.
Fine.
Recover all your harm, buddy.
I am. I'm gonna throw rocks at fucking Victor while he's going.
You are absolutely sauced.
Oh.
So no. This is great. You're just throwing rocks like a fucking gorilla throws them out. Like just like it's nothing. And Shoujo's just kind of laughing at you like a proud like a proud uncle. Like you do that. Yes, fun. Very good. He just thinks it's the funniest thing. All right, Victor. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is great. So, hold on 1 second. I need to make sure I get this right. Okay. They look around and they, the Antikythera unit's like, it's kind of like shrugging their shoulders. And, one of them says, I see. Actually, Sloth, he says, you know, we didn't plan on you being here. But we have enough information on you, and we had you in our report, so why don't we give you something special? And,
Bring it on.
Oh, they will. They clap their hands, and, the doors open, and we see a large yellow creature stumble out. It's, do you know what? I can't put the unstupid noise. It's actually kind of fucking horrifying. It is 15 foot tall. It is covered in sores, and it is weeping pus everywhere. It's shambling, and, Victor, when it comes through, you think it's a big minion, and then you realize that it is like a mutated creature. It's a minion that's been combined with a centaur. And it screams and runs out towards you. And it is charging for you, buddy. You're gonna need to give me a sharp roll.
Oh boy. Let's go.
And remember your moves this time. You give me some ideas what you want to do.
Sharp.
All right. Okay. It's gonna go first. It is gonna open its mouth up, and it is gonna start firing bananas at you.
Banana.
Well, yeah, you hear a banana. It's kind of horrifying, and the bananas are rotted, and they look like they're acidic. 7. Okay. It's gonna hit you, it's gonna, like, spray around the area, and it's gonna catch you in, like, the right leg. So it's gonna damage some of your mobility and do 2 harm. But you will get a shot on it. Now, what is your... What would you fire back with?
Gun, baby. Or, let's see, what's the exact wording? The old revolver.
Okay. Now, is this a pretty cure... Are there guns in the Pretty Cure universe? Debatable?
Debatable. Technically, they are. They're more like laser pistols.
Unless you want to borrow... Do you want to borrow something from the Sonic universe and take, like, one of Eggman's, or... like...
I'll take Shadow's gun.
Of course you fucking will. Okay. Did he name it? He didn't name it, did he?
No, he
Okay.
did
You pull it out, and it's got like a decal. It's like black flames on the side. Like it is.
Gun.
Yeah, it's the Fieri gun. It's the rapid Fieri gun. And every time you fire it, it says, "Welcome to Flavor Town."
Bitch.
Yeah. You fire hot bullets into this creature's like hide on the side. It does fire damage. So it's gonna take 3 harm from that. Okay, now it's your turn. And remember, you have clones, you have portals, and you have time magic. So think carefully about this.
Oh boy.
And remember, you're being evaluated. No pressure.
About to say, there's no physical way in hell I'm gonna take this thing down on my own. But if I just banish it somewhere else, that would technically.
Oh shit! That's actually a really good idea.
Let's say.
That's
my portal.
So that's big magic, and you need to tell me where you're banishing it to.
All right. No, that'd give away the dungeon.
Yeah, you can't take him there. That's also, I think that would be really poor to give them that weapon, right? You're just handing them something, right?
All right. I'll do it. I'll send him to the realm of Banana Mendoza. Just a banana.
Oh.
Big sentient banana.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think that realm of Mendoza's is very happy. Like that. They are going to be in, like, constant agony. Like, can you imagine being a living banana that's, like, rotting, like, from the moment it's, like, ripe? Oh. Well, I guess we all are, technically. Technically, isn't everything rotting from the moment it's ripe? You know, I don't want to think about this. Alright, give me a weird roll. With the +1. Alright. It doesn't work quite the way you want it to. It doesn't go to Banana Mendoza land. It goes to Fuck.
He goes to Pear Mendoza.
No. That would be great. You send this thing away. You send it to your room.
No.
So, but the problem is, you've opened the portal, like, beneath it. And your house, or where Victor Mendoza lives, you've opened it, like, very high above the room, or the building, and it's just free-falling through the air. And it crashes into the roof of your house, and splatters everywhere.
God damn it, I hope he didn't hit the fridge, I say.
Oh, he did. The fridge is taken out. It also got your special edition Pretty Cure DVD box sets and all your figurines. It also, I'm sorry to say, Victor, it also got the Rouge the Bat Love doll.
Did it get the Transformers?
Optimus Prime is covered in banana and pus.
Well, we can rebuild, I tell myself. Those Mendozas from Mendoza land need another job right now.
Alright. Well, actually, you have a cleaner. So, he like, comes into view, and he's got, like, an apron and, like, a little, like, babushka hat on. He's like, what the you don't even pay me enough for this guy. Come on, what the fuck? And he looks up, and he's like, oh, you motherfucker! Like, and I imagine you close the portal before he can react.
Yeah. I'll get him some more workers next week, I tell myself after I close the portal.
Unbelievable. Alright. 3 candidates left. Flebicus, Callista, and Jericho.
I will go.
Flebs, you're going? Okay. We're going to figure out your Gravedigger thing, but I have something fun for this anyway. Flebs, do you say anything as you step up?
I will go.
That's okay. Okay, cool. Trevin, who do you think would be a more appropriate enemy for Flebs? Rat King or Charon?
Based on
All right.
Like, smart guys.
Okay. Yeah, 2 smart guys. That's a good point. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Flebs, you step up, and Rat King gets to his feet. The doctor that you guys met, and he's got he's just like kind of a bandaged mess, shall we say, and he says, well, this should be interesting. Hello, Flebicus. Let's find out what you've got. All right. Now, Flebs, give me a sharp roll straight off the bat first. We're going to build your character for the next arc anyway, but right now, we're going to give you, I think what we're going to do to make it appropriate is we're going to, do you still have your old character sheet? I wonder if we can import that in for the moment, because I had an idea I wanted to try. Let me see if we can edit you. Luce, do you know if there's a way to do that?
Sorry, edit which thing?
Change Flebs' character sheet back to the expert. I think we can, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, that would be in, here.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so, Flebs, when 12, yeah, when you step in, something really cool happens. Your eye, that most people by this point will have forgotten about, begins working, and you realize that you have just gained access to the Cryptid Compendium's entire back catalog and entries. You have regained your I've read about this sort of thing perk.
Okay. Can I use that right now?
You can. And while you're in here, you are going to have the expert class. You don't know if you're going to have I've read about this sort of thing once you leave here, but for the moment, you go in, and Rat King kind of cocks his head to the side and just kind of smiles at you. Like, you don't know if this is his doing or not, but yeah. While you're here, you have that class again. But yeah, you could do, I've read, yeah?
Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay. Alright, an 8. You can have some information, but on an 8, it's going to be a price to pay. And the price to pay is going to be that he is going to basically be able to get a move off on you, and you will not be able to stop him. Regardless of the roll. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that he is humanoid. You know the normal, like, vital spots, the areas that he is weak in. You know that he, basically, has the same sort of weaknesses any man would have. He's intelligent, but, arrogant. It's kind of, like, typical in that respect. There's nothing, weirdly enough, Flebs, there is nothing unusual about him aside from his appearance. And maybe that is uncomfortable to know.
Okay.
And he does something, Flebs, that I think frightens you more than most enemies would. Because he pulls out the Cryptid Compendium.
What was that, TJ?
I said, he does something that frightens you. Because he pulls out the Cryptid Compendium.
Oh, no.
And he uses I've read about this sort of thing. And he starts flicking through the pages. And he stops and says, Flebs Taylor.
I'm in the book?
Tragic backstory. Raised. Interesting. You fought a werewolf. That's where that... And he taps. And on an instant, Flebs, he dashes towards you with a silver sword, and he taps the hilt of it, like butts you in the chest, right where your scar is. Yeah, that does double damage, so that does 4 harm. And he stands over you and says, you are so lucky this is not a sanctioned fight. Otherwise, I'd be taking your eye. You're a fascinating one. What will you do now?
Do I have access to only the expert abilities, or do I have...
No, just the expert, because your Gravedigger class, we haven't done yet anyway, but you basically were classless walking into this room.
Okay.
So this is what you've got. You have been... The room, or someone in the room, has given you the accesses to these weapons.
I'll use my flamethrower.
Close proximity? Okay. Alright, bud. Yeah, give me a kick some ass roll. Just a straight one.
One sec.
If you need me to do the roll for you, let me know. 11. Beautiful. You pull this out, Flebs, and you just ignite the entire area in front of you. Like, you just set him ablaze. Yeah, I mean, what is there to say? It's a 3 harm volatile thing, but he's so close, Flebs. This is gonna have like a disadvantage. If only on one thing, it's gonna be on your sight, because you are burning someone who is standing above you. So you will not see him. But that's good. And again, you hear him talking while you got this smoke around, and he says, "Ah, yes. Someone who thinks in the moment. So clever, but so impulsive. Well, thankfully, we have a way of remedying that." And he uses Precise Strike. And this time he hits you in the back with that same hilt. And it does another 4 harm. So you are going to go down.
Ah.
Yikes.
And he smiles through the bandages and taps his head. And he is, you can see, before you lose consciousness, and all of you can see, he is holding what looks to be the real Cryptid Compendium. And when he closes it, it dematerializes. And he walks back to the group.
Man.
2 left.
Jericho walk forward.
Yeah? Alright, what do you say?
Yep. I don't think Jericho would say anything as he's just postures towards the front of the group.
Okay. Who do you want? The options are Charon, Tiamat, Chernobog and Millabog, and Azathoth.
Oh, I was not prepared to pick.
Well, they don't... There's a lot of different options available, and I'm with you two, it's a little bit different. So I'm unsure. Like, I mean, all of them are viable for all of you, so it really is up to who you want, I guess.
Alright, Jericho will look him over for a moment, then... Actually, okay, he'll point at Sharon and say, I haven't heard much from you, my man. What do you say? Be my opponent?
Okay. Karen, is under a hood and nods. And he swoops in. Yeah, he doesn't say anything. Let's go for sharp rolls. Oh, this is going to be delicious. 11 for Karen. All right. Okay. I know what he's going to do. First move. So, Karen is going to leap into the air. He spreads his wings, and he pulls out a black whip. And he is going to attempt to crack the air around you with it.
Say he spreads his wings?
I said he spreads his wings. And he, on an 11, does, Jericho. This whip is black, and it is crackling. And when he cracks it, Jericho, it actually rips the space between you two. And he comes in close, and he uses it as a way to hit you. He strikes you in the jaw, and then wraps the whip around your neck and throws you into the air. You take 3 harm. And you are currently spinning through the air, my friend.
Okay. Neat. Awesome. He has wings. He has a whip. That's awesome. All great things to learn. Is it would it be Jericho's move now?
It is. It is your move.
Oh, okay then. Could Jericho tune to the Godweight fractal?
He is going to have to act under pressure to do that. He is flying through the air, but yes, he can.
Oh, awesome. Oh.
I love that I can switch to Discord messages now and start seeing individual images like I couldn't do that before. 14. You stop yourself in the middle of the air, and there is a sonic boom that runs out through the building, and it changes your clothes now. When you attune, your entire appearance changes. Why don't you tell us what you look like, Jericho?
Okay, so underneath like the inside part of the jacket is now like this kind of moving like purple like plasma energy. The irises of his eyes also glow with the same sort of plasmic purple, and for the moment his clothes don't change out of character because I haven't made the Godweight
of course
yet. But around his around his forearms, almost like lightning arches, but it's also like the purple color, and it looks like it rapidly changes directions, going either striking up and down, or down and up.
Okay. I love that. Don't forget, obviously, when you use Mind and Matter, you can roll tough on Kick Some Ass instead of... you can roll weird instead of tough. You obviously have the Gravity Lancer's Grandeur, which gives you some armor. You've got your Meteor Strike, and you've got the Atlas's Oath. You do have your Trump card as well, which we haven't talked about. So I want to know what you want to do with a 14. You are perfectly attuned, and you are going to have an opportunity to kick some ass.
So between two of us, is the black whip kind of coil still there, or is it now dissipated?
No, you were flung, so there's no the black whip is in his hands.
Okay, gotcha. From where I'm at, could I attempt to say activate me? If I'm still in midair, can I activate Meteor Strike and attempt to send us both plummet back to the ground?
Yeah, you are a distance away from him, but yeah, you could definitely do that. Okay, a 7. So, on a... so this is going to be only a 2 harm, correct? On a partial success. So tell me how this looks.
So like, so as Jericho's being flung through the air, I imagine like that's when he attunes to the God weight and kind of almost instantly kind of stops him midair.
Mm-hmm.
Before he kind of pole vaults himself off of basically nothing and tries to grab from like behind Karen and sit in like then manipulate gravity to like send them both towards the ground.
You were able to catch him and send him down with you. It only does 2 harm, so it's kind of a scratch, but you are able to get that hood. And you rip it to pieces. And I don't believe I've shown you guys what Karen looks like. So why don't I do that in the background while we're doing this? So, Callista, give me a sharp roll. I am going to have to scroll back quite a bit on this. I'm hoping I can get it quickly. Okay. Yeah, 9 is basically a success. If you can tell me who you think this is, and you're right, I will give you... I'm actually going to give you a luck point.
Oh, shit.
If you're... Yeah, so this will be interesting.
You're saying this is a character we've met before?
This is a character... Yes, I'm saying. And that's why I'm offering the luck point, because I don't think you're going to get it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay. Well, you're gonna find out in a minute, but no ideas.
No, I remember seeing a picture of him at some point, but I don't know what.
That's okay. I have just found it. I'm putting it back in Hunter's chat. He is a beautiful black man. I would almost say he's almost obsidian. He has these inscriptions down his face, scars over his head. And thick adornments of like chains, some gold, some silver, and plating around the hooding. Hold on 1 second. He okay. I know what he's gonna say. I'm just getting this move ready. So that's okay. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. He is using a move called Be Not Afraid.
Did not plan that.
And he's not using it on you. He's using it on Jericho. Yeah. So that's an act under pressure first. Yeah. He lets his wings loose and stares at you, Jericho, and you are unable to comprehend his true form. And the reason why is because mortals are not supposed to be able to see what angels look like in their true form. Callista, you have a moment, and I don't know what this does to you, but when he changes forms, you know who that is. He then uses a move called... he uses a move called Fallen Angel. He pulls out a holy weapon, namely a silver trident. And he uses the back of it to strike you in the back of the neck, Jericho, for 4 harm. And you go down to the ground. And you had temporary, basically like stun. It's basically madness, but even though he got an 8, you were not able to fight to use that back because of the Be Not Afraid. Callista, do you want to take a stab at who that is?
Okay. I only have so many angels.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do. That's sort of the point.
Right. It's not, Hold on. I have like 5.
Have a think for a minute then. Jericho.
I know who it's not.
Jericho. What do you want to do?
What I want to do?
Well, it's your turn again. You're still up. You got hit, but he is not happy that you caught him and showed his face to people.
Okay, Jericho will take the moment, stand back up, and activate the Alice's Oath perk.
Okay. So Atlas's Oath. That is the might of the god weight to the surface of your being, and you enter a galactic rage. So it's basically just ripping off Jimmy's rage, but on a galactic level. I love it. Jimmy, do you boo when you see, like, just drunk Jimmy boo when he sees this?
No, fucking Jericho Branch is my boy. I'm
Okay.
like cheering.
Okay.
He's in the rage.
All right, I like that. You feel your body attempt to tear itself apart. This is basically, like, right near your trump card. You need to make sure you don't get an instability. So give me a tough roll, and let's see what your instability looks like. Okay, a 9. So that's within your safe zone, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now you got a +2 to your melee attacks with entropy damage. This is going to be like a berserk trait. So yeah, what happens?
Jericho would try to re-engage card and volley a flurry of punches at him while the Alice's Oath is open, is active. Sorry.
All right, yeah, give me a roll. Woo! All right, tell me how this looks.
In whatever form he's taking, Jericho basically like pseudo instant transmission style appears in front of him and volleys like a quick pair of punches at him that send like purple like gravity shockwaves like through his form.
Okay. Do you have like a combination move as you like to put Karen down?
In this current state, like, are you asking if I? Also, I don't care. Real quick, like, does he still look like humanoid? I'm trying to mentally.
He is now. Yeah, no, he's human now. It was a temporary move.
Okay, got you. Then similarly to like what happened during at the big top of Kruger, he wants to do one more quick like teleport punch downward, and basically the layer of gravity forms between his actual fist and Karen's body. It's forcing him towards the ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and how many harm does that do?
With Alice
is it 6?
It would be, I believe, 5. Let me see, because the only seems to be damage doesn't go up at all with the SO5 harm.
Okay, like that. Yeah, we'll say it does 5 harm. You just lay into Charon, and when you're done, you just back off and look at look at him in the crater, like not moving.
In a sense, after the last flow, Jericho will kind of leap backwards and with his hands kind of pseudo up, but not like in the surrender pose.
Okay.
Okay, we done here?
Huh.
Good.
Callista, do you know who this is yet?
I mean, I was kind of stuck between two, but one of them doesn't really make any sense. It's not Symphonio, is it?
Charon invokes the Dark Sponsor.
Oh god.
And this move basically means that for 2 turns, they are able to manifest the sponsor's strength as their own and become a demon prince for 3 turns. But when they're done, they are exhausted. You watch as this individual that you slowly begin to recognize stand up, and their skin is bubbling, and those wings, which are black, begin to burn a very dark red. And Charon sprouts horns and begins to grow and grow and grow. And they still, this entire time, have said nothing. And when they turn and open their mouth, you realize that they don't have a tongue. And Charon looks at you, Jericho, and yeah, 15. Using the Dark Sponsor, he flies forward, and he uppercuts you into the air, and rears his head up and fires off a beam from his mouth, using the flames of Gehenna, and engulfs you for 5 harm. Which, I believe you don't go down, correct? Because of the god weight.
Yeah.
But that's going to suck. And Callista...
Like, that's what Jericho says when he's in the air and he sees it. Oh, that's going to suck. Callista, you realize, looking at some very specific scars on his body, that it's Zephaniel.
Oh shit.
We have a bit of a situation here. Because now we have 2 creatures, 2 humanoids that are using maneuvers that will not stop. So I'm going to make a decision here before this goes anywhere. So, like, obviously you're going to... Actually, you know what, Jericho? I have a feeling I know what you're going to do. So do you want to do it first?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Jericho would like to use his trump card, the Kruger Sphere. And
yeah. So the Kruger Sphere is a spell passed down from generations of the most powerful gravity mancers in Kruger's family. You are going to force the very atmosphere of the world open on the battlefield and effectively try to create a Big Bang eruption, which means I'm going to need everybody to roll a tough roll, because Jericho does not have control over how well you will handle this. So Jimmy's fine. Victor is not fine.
holy shit.
Callista is fine. This is going to be... Huh?
I'm down. Do I need to roll?
You do. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. You sound like you're underwater there for a second in here. All right. So, okay. Well, we will. This is gonna be interesting. So,
Bye, guys.
Jericho, what do you roll for this? Is it just weird?
You're Gravedigger. It's fine. Yes. This would be akin to like the Arcstorm or like the.
Yeah.
So it's probably be like a big magic roll.
Yeah. Go for it. You're in gravity, man. Oh yeah, you need to give me another tough roll as well, because I need to see if you can.
Do that first.
Yeah. All right, so you are now unstable, which makes sense. You've just been hit with very, very unusual primordial flames, and they are scorching your very body, and you can feel them seeping into your flesh, and they are like sapping your magic, and it is making you lose focus. So as you become unstable, your body is beginning to crackle. When you look unstable with gravity, Matt, so what does that look like?
So imagine like the skin and your arm being kind of cut at, and like you can pseudo see like the flesh. From that moment, from that appearance, add like that same kind of that same like purple like plasma effect is out of the skin and seeping out and starting to like make more cracks / fissures like up through the skin. So it kind of resembles like the body's like cracking.
Okay. Yeah, you are becoming very unstable as you prepare this spell. Give me the roll and we'll see what happens. All right, 11. So that is insane. So tell us how this looks.
So as it's starting, Jericho raises his arms like above his head, with his forearms crossed, very similar to what you saw Kruger do in Hotel Inertia. We saw Deimos replicate back at the Dream Team's hideout. Yeah, that's where it was.
Yeah.
The intensity of the purple lighting starts swelling to a point it's really not even purple anymore. It just starts to be like blinding like white light. And with the earth like around like Jericho's feet starting to raise, and then he uncrosses his arms and like that same white light just rapidly expands outward, making like a kind of not like a sound vacuum, it's like it's all muted and like the.
Okay. I love this. Charon is going to use Judecca's Wall. If he can. Nope. No, he cannot. Yeah, you crackle and put this together, and you let this loose, bearing in mind, two of your friends are not able to get out of the way, and you fire this off, and Charon's body is shaking, and it takes the shot, and it is holding this back, but it is rapidly coming apart at the seams. Like it is gonna when Charon lets that go, it is gonna cause a lot of damage. And thankfully Azathoth on a 10 gets in, and he is able to completely absorb the spell, and take its magic into himself. And at that moment, both you and Charon revert to your humanoid forms, and you both you could either say you take a knee or you collapse to the floor. I'm going to call that one probably a victory for Jericho, but an unfinished match.
We take those, yeah!
Yeah, that was the... Yeah, you are definitely that energized. Azathoth, Azathoth looks up at you, Jericho, are you falling down, or are you, like, what are you doing?
Imagine Jericho's falling to one knee, like, there's, like, steam coming off his body, but his, like, the whites, like, I can see, like, the whites of his eyes, he's not conscious.
Yeah, no, you're not. And, Azathoth says, I'd kick your ass if you were conscious, you fucking idiot. But yeah, you go down, and, he, looks at Charon and says, and you, control yourself. I don't care if you saw your old friend. You have a job to do. And Charon looks back at you for a moment, Callista, before he puts his hood up, and uses angel wings. And... let's see... and disappears.
Yeah, Callista watches him disappear, but she's just kind of standing there in shock.
Yep. And Azathoth's still looking at you and says, "Hey, you're last."
It would seem so, yes.
I'm gonna let you. I mean, it's up to you. You can take on Azathoth. You got Tiamat, and you got Chernobog and Belobog.
No, I think I will just stick with Azathoth.
All right. Do you say anything as you walk up?
No, well, I think so. I think she like steps forward and summons her. This is after she gets the new scythe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, then she'll summon that, and kind of look at Azathoth and say, "Our turn then?"
He stands there, still with a cigarette in his mouth, and arms crossed, and says, "Yep, our turn. Impress me." So sharp roll. Let's go.
Woo.
Okay, so let me quickly check that. All right, so I'm guessing you probably got a really high sharp. Of course you did. You're Callista.
Yeah.
He's not gonna match that. He's not gonna match that, but he doesn't want to. So yep. So yeah. He asked you to impress him. What do you want to do?
So Callista and I are both very excited to try out the new weapons. So, let's see. Okay, I wrote down everything that it can do. Okay. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just like do the like double blade version of it.
Okay.
Because even though there aren't multiple targets in this scenario, like I think she's prepared for Azathoth to like obviously put up a fight, so she wants to be ready. But she will just go straight for him with the scythe. Can I do the thing where I like channel my kind of necrotic energy into it?
Ooh. Give me a roll. Let's see how well you do with it.
Okay. Would that be like weird?
It would be.
Okay. Oh shit. I had a +4 to that.
Yeah. The game did not want you to do that.
Yeah, apparently not.
Maybe it's just the recent events, Callista, and the anxiety within you. But no. Your Eldritch... Well, actually, you know what? Your necrotic abilities, they're just not coming.
Nice.
And, well, Asda looks at you and says, "What's the matter? Having some trouble with your magical abilities? I thought you had better control than that."
Callista kind of narrows her eyes at him and says, like adjusts her grip on the scythe and says, "I'm not opposed to doing this the old-fashioned way." And yeah, she'll just go at him with the scythe as normal.
Okay.
Which hopefully I roll better on.
11.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Tell me how this looks.
So I imagine with the double blade, she would kind of like charge at him, kind of just straight on, but then sort of do almost like a God, I don't know fighting terms, but like kind of fake him out a little bit.
Yeah,
go around behind him, turn the scythe around and kind of like get him in the back.
Yeah, you split his coat. You cut it completely, and he does not move. He does not move from his spot. You split the coat in the back, and it falls away. and he takes a deep drag of his cigarette and says, "Okay, so you got a new weapon. Good. Now let's see how well you use it." He uses nullification. And he literally tilts his head back to look at you. I'm not going to tell you, well, I think it speaks for itself what it does, but he looks back and says, "Hit me with your best shot, or I'll fucking kill you."
Okay. So does this take out my, like, eldritch stuff? Is that what it did?
I don't know.
I think, well, okay. Well, she would try to shift into eldritch form
Sure.
at that point.
So no archery, per straight to eldritch. All right. Yeah. Yep. Let's see the roll. 11. Yep. You transform. I need a tough roll, same as Jericho. See how you control this. Or is it cool? No, it's cool. Excuse me, cool.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Not very well.
I didn't fail it.
No, but this rapidly overtakes you, and you become more of a like a creature. And he sees this instability, and his eye twitches, but he doesn't move. He is smoking still and arms crossed, watching you. What do you do?
How tall is he? He's pretty tall, right?
Yeah, he is 6'8", I believe.
Okay, well I was gonna ask, because in Eldritch form I'm taller than I am normally, but I don't
You
know
are.
if I'd be taller than him.
You'd still be pretty tall.
Well, okay, so I think I want to, in that case, like, use my wings to boost me into the air and bring the blade down on him.
Excellent. All right, give me the roll. 8. You know, it is rare I get to do something like this.
Oh, God.
Don't like that.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
You hit him, and it does nothing. It does 0 damage. And he looks at you and says, "Not good enough. More." And he is not going to take a turn.
Okay. Can I try to do the necromantic infusion thing again?
Yep.
Or is that okay?
You could try. You might want to go. You might just want to go for broke. He wants.
I know it's either that or just like go straight to Death Blossom stuff.
That's up to you.
Hmm.
But he is saying it's not good enough.
Yeah.
You also don't forget you have your weapons ultimate move as well.
I do. I don't know if I want to use that immediately though.
Would you?
I'm not allowed to use it that much.
It's up to you. But he is telling you it's not good enough.
You're right. Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can do what you want. Like I'm speaking through the character.
That's fine. I think. Listen, I'm the kind of dramatic bitch that I am. I like to do this shit in threes. So I'm gonna just go one step up and then I can go if it does still not enough.
Okay.
So I'll just. Well, let's see if I actually do it first, though. I'm not sure if it's gonna work.
Okay, yeah, on an 8 it infuses it. So now this blade is, are you holding it or is it coming out of your arms?
I was holding it. I think, like, because she boosted herself up into the air, I think she'll, like, land directly in front of him and she'll switch to the
Okay,
arms.
so this is like, now you're, like, basically bladed all across your forearms, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you do?
I'm going to... I'm gonna, like... sort of not to copy Jericho, but I want to do the like cross my forearms across my chest and slash both of them out toward him.
Okay, go for it. An 8.
Damn, I'm rolls right now.
Yeah. You do it, and it does nothing.
Right.
And he still hasn't moved, and he just, his eyes are wide, like bloodshot, and he looks at you and says, I'm gonna give you one more chance. Give me your best fucking shot. Because this shit, it's not good enough. And he like raises voice, says, do you hear me? It's not good enough.
And Callista, like with those last 2 hits, she was like, you know, it's not like she was holding back on those necessarily. She was still trying. Like she does her, you know, like little cry with each one, like cries of anger as she hits him. But yeah, this time she closes her eyes and she just, I would imagine she would use the Death Blossom this time, kind of like.
Before you do, he says, you lost one friend due to a mistake. Do you want to lose everyone in this room? Because you don't have the guts to do what it takes?
Yeah. Okay. I was already gonna do it, but that just, yeah, that she opens her eyes again. And I would imagine that they've gone black now.
Yep.
And she says, I'm not losing anyone today.
Okay. Go for it. Do a, oh yeah, I need another, cool roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see what you get, and I'll tell you what to do with the roll. So he got a 10. Yep, okay, so give yourself a +2.
Yay.
And then tell me how this looks.
Okay. And is that... I'm sorry. I have to write it down. Is it magic or weird?
Magic is weird.
Okay. Then, yeah, okay, that works.
Perfect. Tell me how this looks.
So I think she says that, and then she, like, tilts her head back and spreads her wings out. And, with a 12, that means she has it under control, right?
Yep. Perfectly under control.
Okay, so I think it's still, like, you know, I think she would still scream as it comes from her because it does kind of, like, rip through her. But she, like, would be able to control the blast of it, I imagine. So she kind of, like, lifts up and then it, like, kind of sonic booms outward from her.
Okay. Yeah, you create some distance, you blast this thing towards him. Mm-hmm. And when it's done, you know, fly back down, still in your form. And when the dust clears, he has moved 3 inches. And he finishes his cigarette and stamps on the ground and says, congratulations. You moved me. You showed you have the resolve. Here's your reward. And he dashes forward, and he uses a move which I'm not gonna tell you what it is, which you'll find out why later, but known as the King in Yellow. And in a lightning flash, he is to your right, and he holds out a gun, a red magnum, and says, bang. And he smirks and gives you like that kind of like joking, like little push on your face with his fist and says, "Well done, kid. Looks like you can still follow orders. You pass." And he turns around and begins walking, like, holding up a waving hand and says, "Now we'll give you our thoughts in a debriefing. We'll see you again in a few months. Train hard. You'll fucking need it."
Callista's like, I imagine Callista is like, you know, like out of breath, like standing
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah.
And
You just looked death in the face.
Yeah, well, is also how soon after this was the midnight meeting thing? Like, is my chest still fucked? Like, my ribs still fucked up?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So she's like just wheezing as she like kind of half doubles over.
You might need that inhaler, my guy.
She like looks over at like Jericho, who's just unconscious, and then Chewy, who's drunk in the corner. Flebs is out, Victor's out. She's like, "God damn it."
Jimmy picks Jericho's hand up and waves it at Callista.
And yeah, you that's the last thing you see as you collapse to the ground and you pass out. Alright, gang. You all had a bit of a beating. Fala was not there. She had jury duty. Future jury duty. She had to go to time court. Victor had incurred quite a lot of parking fines. And she had to go and figure out... Well, actually, yeah, Fala, why don't you tell us what the sentencing was for Victor? What actually happened at time court?
Oh, God.
What was his punishment?
Well, it was so fucking boring, but let's see. Victor's punishment for all of his traffic court fines. Victor was sentenced to 5 years of zero pretty cure exposure.
Oh.
Damn.
You know,
So,
I feel like it would have been more
pretty cure
lenient if
starvation.
he turned up and actually represented himself, or even let lawyer
but he
Mendoza.
wasn't there.
Why didn't he go to the firm of Mendoza and Mendoza? Like, why didn't he get like one of his own lawyers to represent Victor? Why didn't you get one of your lawyers to represent you?
Yeah, Victor.
What the fuck?
He's not that good.
I mean, he's you. He's your lawyer. It's like you could have gone for the other. It's Mendoza and Mendoza. There's two of them.
Well, the good one was actually out of town that weekend.
Well, so now you don't get pretty cure for 5 years.
It was a lot of traffic fines.
Well, no, I know he dumps like Victor bodies when he's done with them. He doesn't doesn't safely get rid of them. He
Did
just
you guys not remember
come
what
on.
happened
One
last
orange
time?
peel, it's the end of the fucking world. Okay.
yeah.
It
I
was. I
decided to
still
create the
have
world.
flashbacks about that orange peel.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
that's coming around.
talking about
Yeah, Jericho, that's coming around, buddy. That littering violation is coming around.
karma.
Yeah, that's been accumulating, my
Literally, it's not
friend.
literally, no one here knows the technical definition of littering. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse.
I mean, you can refuse, but the law is the law, my guy. But, Luce, when you say what happened last time, what are you referring to?
I'm referring to the fact that we all witnessed Victor commit a crime, and we were just standing on top of the roof and just watching it happen.
Oh, yeah, that, well,
Like he created.
I
yeah.
thought that's what we were talking about.
No, but that is also going to be a problem that we have to resolve. Yeah, Victor, you did commit, like, some pretty bad felonies. Like, even though that is Mendoza on Mendoza crime, it's still a crime. Like, you know, that cop still had a family. I mean, Endicott has his own opinions on what, you know, he doesn't think cops are people, but, you know, under the law, I mean, man, you might be in trouble.
I count at least 7, not like law violations, but outright felonies in that scene alone.
Yeah, there were a few.
Right.
Like, you know, Victor, are you gonna like plead innocent? Like, because there's a lot of evidence on you, man.
I take the honest route and just like, no, everything is... Yeah, I'm guilty of everything. I don't deny anything.
Okay, so when that happens, let it be known that Victor is entering a guilty plea. But all right, yeah, you all collect your pride off the floor, and you will need to go to debriefing with Nell, which will cover, like, a lot of things. You do not need to do that right now. There are still some things that need to be done, and we are finishing the interlude today. So thank goodness we started early. There is a few things that we've got. You guys need to meet with Endicott as a group. You need to meet with OF Province. You need to do the debriefing. And I believe you, both Callista and Jericho, have one other thing they want to do as well. So, what do you guys want to do now? We're going to have, let's give it a few hours. You guys have had a chance to have some downtime in the Nightmare Detective's offices, in the infirmary area, maybe. In fact, actually, you know what? It's Fala that, tends to you. You guys wake up, and Fala has been making sure all of you are all right.
You guys are gonna have to submit your payments to my billing department, but you're welcome.
There's not... Wait, hold on. We don't have socialized medicine in Sturgeon?
Buildings.
It's your world. Do we have
if we
socialized?
do we have socialized medicine? That would be great.
I mean, look, gang, an Englishman made this place. I mean...
Okay.
How much of a
Thank the NHS.
how much of a piece of shit would I be if I was like, yeah, you don't get my real world healthcare. Fuck all of y'all. No, you don't.
so used
You do not pay medical bills in Sturgeon. No, I am not having that be a thing.
Good, 'cause I definitely was not about to pay Fala.
Yeah, yeah. Jericho would not be paying Fala. Jericho would be running out, hospital gown, butt cheeks in the wind, out the hospital.
Oh, I left my wallet in the waiting area.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in my other hat.
Yeah. It's in your wizard cowboy hat combo.
Left that back somewhere, not here.
Yeah. Okay, so no payment. But you owe Fala a favor. How about that? So what are you going to...
Jericho.
Oh, is it my turn to talk? I thought it was
Do you owe Fala? Yeah, you owe Fala a favor.
Okay, sure.
He said, "Fuck it."
All right. All right. Let's move things forward a little bit. We'll go to Callista first. Callista, you have a couple things on your list of things to do anyway. Why don't you tell me what you want to do?
Well, a lot of them are group things. At this point,
Mm-hmm.
I
But
covered
you
a lot
do
of
have a
the
couple of
stuff.
individual activities as well. For
The
you
main-
guys, this is your last chance to do your individual stuff before we move forward. So.
Yeah, the main thing that I wanted to do now is, well, I know Faye wanted to talk to me,
Yep.
so maybe that. Because
Okay.
I sent you the notes about this, but she when they got back, Callista sent Faye ahead to the university to go to the infirmary and to reunite with Gary, but she didn't accompany them. She just made sure that she was escorted there safely. So she hasn't seen her since then, I don't think.
Okay. No, she hasn't. So, yeah, I mean, where do you want to meet her?
Well, does Faye reach out to me, or because I remember she mentioned to Jericho that she was going to talk to Callista.
I think she probably, gives you a call on your phone. Checks in with you and makes sure that, maybe sets it up. I think, you are welcome to just go to the Muldoon house if you want, if that's easier.
Maybe. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about Callista's mindset at the moment. Maybe that park.
Okay. Yeah. McGraw National Park.
Mm-hmm.
A Memorial Park. Sorry, McGraw Memorial. Okay. Yeah, it's steadily being reconstituted and put back together. But yeah, there's
Alright.
there's a little playground maybe, reminding you of Mantis Bay, where Margot had that encounter with Eliza. But yeah, you guys can go on the swing set and just sit and talk. And suddenly we're in a Naruto flashback. Yeah, you guys could go sit there and yeah. Do you want her to start, or do you want to start?
I think she could start. I think Callista is originally just gonna be confused by the swing set because I don't. She'll like sit on it and she just is startled. Like her wings come out and she like has to catch herself before she just falls over because she wasn't expecting it to move. So
Yeah,
she just thought it was a normal seat.
yeah, she was like, oh, right, yeah, you still knew things. You've been around for a long time, Callie. Like, didn't you ever sit in a swing set?
I mean, when I was on Earth, I never saw any of these, but I'm sure. I mean, I had one similar, I guess. Paula had like a rope on a tree that she swung from, but this is. These chains are interesting.
Yeah, they hold the swings up. But have you ever told her about your time with Paula, or not a lot?
Not really. I assume at this point, anyone close to her has heard her name.
Yeah.
But, like, which is, you know, why she would say it so readily.
Okay.
But she doesn't talk. Like, nobody really knows exactly what happened.
Okay, that's fine. It's just, I just wanted to make sure I said it right. She says, you said you were a human once. Like, didn't have swing sets in the time you were a human?
Maybe. I admit, although I explored more of the world when I was human, I still didn't see too much of it. Couldn't fly anymore, so...
Right. Wait, you couldn't fly? What? Oh, because you were a human. Of course.
Right. Didn't... Lost my wings for that time.
But it was worth it to give something up like that to protect the people you love, right?
Yes. I would make that decision again. But still, it was challenging in some ways.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's kind of why I did what I did. It was to protect the people I cared about. People like you. I know this sounds strange, but even... I can't even say his name. Damus. I mean, he's still my brother. Whatever the hell that means.
Right. I'm still processing that bit of information myself.
Well, when I was shown the vision, they kind of opened my mind to a few things. And one of them was the realization that if I didn't do what needed to be done and play my part, well, everything would go. Everyone I love would go. And I couldn't handle that. They told me that there were multiple paths in front of me. And with my vision, I could see all of them. And if I didn't pick the right one, the one they told me, you, Uncle Muldoon, my brother, everyone, they'd all die. Sturgeon would die. So I did as I was told. And I'm still sorry. But maybe you can understand because I still think I'd do it again if it protected all of you.
Callista is like kind of looking straight ahead, holding on to the chains of the swing set. And she just kind of has like a sort of grim expression on her face as she listens to this.
Mm.
And she says, I do understand, Faye. For reasons I still don't quite understand, we are faced with impossible choices. And I do know what it's like to have a path laid out for you. It's difficult to stray from that, especially when you don't know what could happen when it puts everything and everyone at risk. Yes, I understand. I wish I could say that I knew how to overcome that. But it's scary. That's the truth. It is really scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And if there's anything I could do to help, well, you just need to ask.
Thank you. But for now, what path do you think you've reached? Which one do you think that you're on?
Are you asking me what I know or what I hope?
Maybe a little bit of both.
I hope I'm on the path that averts disaster. But I know I'm on the one that will do anything I can to avert it. But I haven't used my sight. I'm too nervous to see what I'll find.
Callista turns her head to look over at her and kind of tilts her head slightly and says, would you like to?
Yeah, roll manipulate someone. With a +1 because obviously she trusts you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Might
12.
be the best manipulate someone I've ever rolled.
Wow. She tears up and sort of nods and says, do you want me to share with just you, or do you want me to do it with everyone around?
I don't think that's a decision that I can make for you, Faye. Whatever will bring you the most comfort.
Okay. She wants to do it with the group.
Okay. Yeah, then Callista would bring her to wherever she wants to go.
She is going to go to the Nightmare Detective's office. This is probably your last prediction that you are ever going to get in this game. All of you.
Okay.
So listen very carefully. It's a shame Flebs is not here, but that's okay. His is already kind of done, so there's not really, She says so it's all of you. I'd say Nell is probably there. Endicott. So Nell and Endicott will definitely be there. Is there anyone else you want there for this? Because this is the last prediction. Now, this isn't going to be very drawn out necessarily, but it's important for me to know.
Mm-hmm. I think I don't know about anyone else. I think I'm good.
Okay. Now we've done this under certain rules every time, where you do a weird roll, to find out how much is given. I am given what you all have been through so far. If you want to, as a group, vote that I just give you it straight, and you don't roll, then I will abide by that. If you want to take the plunge and each do an individual roll, that's up to you. But I want you all to talk about it for a minute. That's your call.
All right, team.
I feel
Nightmare Huddle.
Nightmare Huddle. Let's do this.
I mean, I think I'm gonna put in just as someone with like literally zero weird. I'm gonna say I don't want to do a weird roll.
Chewy and I got hella weird, so.
Yeah, so you know, I get you can't relate, but
I mean, we could always do it as an
normal
act under pressure roll
humans-
if you want, if that's better.
It's technically better for me, but
But only for you.
Well-
that's what I mean.
So by not rolling, do we get?
I will offer you this if you want. You could always have it where you... What if I said the roll that you have to do is your average stat? So, like, for example, if I was to pull up Jimmy's... yeah, this might be more interesting. If I pull up Jimmy's stats, then Jimmy would roll a sharp. Because his charm is 0, his cool is 0, his sharp's 1, his tough and his weird are 3 each. Or if Victor, I would do... Where is Victor? Victor's sheet, I would do... probably his tough, because his tough is 0. His weird is 2, his sharp is 1, his cool is 1, and his charm is -1. So it would be your average, like your middlingest trait. But again, you can all, if you will vote no, I don't want to roll, I want it straight, then that's also an option. It is up to you.
But question out again though, if we roll, do we get more information?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, what's the?
Basically, if you get a complete success, you get everything. If you get a mid roll, then you get like a more cryptic sort of answer, and if you fail, you kind of get you get like a few words, keywords, and that's it.
So by choosing not to roll, we all get the middle ground. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Dang it!
Okay.
You should have just said we'd get it all right, and then he would have also said yeah.
Well,
That is
I
true.
mean,
No, I'm just kidding. No, I think we do.
Well, guys, clearly we have to go for like the biggest payout here.
Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking. But I'm down, but I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
We can roll if it'll give some of us more information then. Because if there's actually a benefit to rolling, then yeah,
Well-
we should roll.
Well,
Just
does
risk it all.
well, I'm
Risk
just
it all.
saying, if we roll, is it the average of what we roll all together, right,
No, it's individual.
TJ?
No.
Oh, okay.
Victor, what do you think?
Mm,
oh man.
I don't know.
Outstanding.
Sorry.
Should we just shoot for middle ground then?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah. You all stand around Faye. And her eyes. Hold on 1 second.
We're sounding like Weezer.
Yeah, you're all standing like Weezer, Victor. Very, very nice. Very, very, very timely, funny reference. Thank you. I'm just trying to build. I'm trying to build up some tension here, but thank you for eroding it in one fell swoop. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
Should really rather have it any other way.
No. Okay.
I feel like that's a lie.
That's okay. No, so you're all good. You're all good. It makes it more of a challenge. All right, gang. So the air grows very thick around you, and you sense that this is different. Faye's eyes roll into the back of her head, and one by one, each of you is given a very simple and efficient and final prediction. Jimmy, she looks to you first, and she says, Jimmy, the wolf is coming overhead. He is chasing the moon, and soon dusk will fall. The hounds are coming. And your rage will slip away. She looks to Fala. Fala, the road you travel is complex, winding, and seemingly without end. Soon you will have to backtrack, and you will be faced with a terrible decision. But I promise you one thing. You will go home at the end of it. She turns to Victor. Victor, you are at a crossroads with your new friends and your old ones.
I have friends?
Wow. Really?
Revelation to me.
I guess not then.
By the end of this, you will have reconciled your past sins with your current achievements. She turns to Jericho. You have already lost so much, Jericho. And I ask that you endure as you lose a little bit more. But by the end of it, you will stand tall with a shining right hand. And she turns to Callista. Callista, soon you will go on a long journey, at the end of which you will be reunited with someone. And for the first time in a long time, you will be able to sleep. Then she turns to Nell. Nell, you have stood watch over Sturgeon and this cycle for so many decades. Someone will come along to relieve you of your duty, and you will be able to retire in peace. But before that happens, a reunion is in order. And lastly, she looks at Endicott and says, there is nothing more that needs to be said for you. You already know. and her eyes begin to roll back down, and she starts breathing heavily. Man, that threw me off. That really threw me off. God damn it.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm actually going to have us move the scene forward. I don't want anyone to ruminate on that yet. Okay. I believe that is everything, aside from the OF province meeting. Correct?
And Endicott?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they want to do?
Paige, are we gonna do the other thing too?
Hold on
That we
one
talked
second.
about with Jimmy?
Let me check my messages. No, yeah. Let's do that. Let's say that you will take a minute to breathe after what happened with Faye, and you're all just sitting in silence in the offices, and I'm guessing you bring everyone together.
Yes, I would
Okay.
like to nightmare huddle if we could.
Mm-hmm.
Huddle, yay.
Jimmy would like to say to the group, I know you all have seen things for me that make no sense to you. You all know that I was kicked out of my tribe, but not for the reasons that you all think it was. Yes, I led you to believe that it was because I wanted my tribe to embrace humans, but that's not the truth on why I was asked to leave. You see, a long time ago, Jimmy was just a Sasquatch. Then certain events happened, things led to other things, and I acquired a thing, you could say, that others couldn't seem to fathom. We have all seen and dealt with what the voids are, correct?
You could
Correct.
say that.
Correct.
Yep.
Well, like I said earlier on in this meeting of individuals, sometimes the good don't always let you to be good, and sometimes you have to do bad things to be good. I acquired a void in my travels. And that is why I was asked to leave my tribe all those years ago, because they didn't know what or how to control what I had inside.
So what Jimmy has essentially just told you guys is that he is a void.
Yeah, I was putting it together.
What?
What the fuck?
And we are going to... I've seen your message, Amy, don't worry. We are going to move that forward to the scene where Jimmy has just violently murdered an NPC. Which is about 12 hours after what you just heard from Jimmy. You're all surrounded. And Jimmy is raging. Do any of you try to stop Jimmy? Or are you just sort of in shock at what's happening?
They're just in shock. Let him rage.
Yeah. Callista?
I think Callista would, like, stand in front of the other students, like, trying to just protect them.
Okay. Jericho?
Kind of similar to Callista. I think Jericho's be focused on it. Whoever like is potentially innocent, like making sure they aren't harmed.
Okay. You guys do this, and the Antikythera unit descends upon the campus. Azathoth and Rat King walk directly up to Jimmy with no hesitation. And you might remember that Rat King asked you about coming to see the experiment he was dictating. Well, even though you didn't go, you're about to see what it can do. Azathoth uses the King in Yellow maneuver, gets behind Jimmy, and severs his spine from his brain in one shot. And you hear the crack. And at the same time, he falls forwards towards Rat King, who utilizes the life fractal and removes the void aspect of Jimmy and puts it into the same canister that JJ's was in. He does not kill Jimmy. I want to make that really clear. He does not kill Jimmy. But he takes that, and you see Jimmy's body begin to get smaller. Now, Jimmy, really important question at this juncture. Would you say that it would be a better outcome for Jimmy to be permanently Bigfoot, and again, for at least for the time being, or permanently human? I'm going to let you have this choice.
I would think he would revert back to being a permanent Sasquatch.
Then you watch as the humanity part of Jimmy is split from his body, almost like an astral projection, and it is taken into this machine that Rat King has in his other hand. And he is put on the ground. And Azathoth looks at you guys, who are protecting the students. And he is furious. He says, "No funny quips. No laughter, no jokes. Follow us. If you resist, I'll paralyze you the same way I did Jimmy. Get fucking moving. Now." Do any of you say anything or resist?
Moving, sir. I say without resisting.
Yep. Callista?
I feel like Callista would kind of like share a glance at with Jericho, but she would move.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Grudgingly, but yeah. Jericho.
Right.
Yep.
We're both reluctantly doing it, but we're doing it.
Fala?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fala hesitates, but is.
Flebs is not there, so like we're gonna say he's where you're going. And Azathoth clicks his fingers, and Shoujo leaps down and carries the unconscious Sasquatch Jimmy on his back. We are moving things forward a little bit. You are taken from Sturgeon's St. Martin's Institute, and the only stop you have along the way to your the last destination in our game today, which actually for the sake of time we're actually really good on time, thank goodness. I did not want to rush this. This is so important, so I'm glad I've got an hour and a bit. You are taken to an interview room, of which there are 4 people that are going to speak to you. Now you are probably going to do this individually unless you elect to have someone with you. But this is basically a place where we're going to establish what happens from here. The one person who will not be talking at the moment is Jimmy. And Flebs. Jimmy, you are not permanently paralyzed. Just want to make that clear. There's only like one real way to get the rage from a berserking immortal creature. So I had to think of my feet there, but I just want you to make sure you know you're not paralyzed.
Alrighty, thank you.
That's okay. But for the moment, you are not able to move. So you are taken into this interview room, and one of 4 people is going to speak to you guys. Obviously, you all can't choose the same people. Victor, you are the only one who gets someone extra. Because you are a Victor Mendoza, you can also have a lawyer Mendoza speak to you if you choose. But for Fala, Callista, and Jericho, and again, like Jimmy, like you'll be able to blink or make like one-word answers. Maybe something like that. You guys get one of 4 people. You get Nell, OF Province, Endicott, and Muldoon. Let me know what you want to do and who you want to talk to. So let's go to Fala first because it's been a while.
Do we all like? We can't double up on people. We all just like take.
No, you can. If it's short interactions, you can.
Okay. I think Fala would pick Endicott.
Okay. Endicott comes in and he looks very tired. And he says, "Hello, Fala. Quite the situation we have here."
What is going on? Why are we here? And what is happening?
Okay, give me a just give me a charm roll, straight charm roll. Okay.
10.
All right, cool. 10. He Hold on, gang. I dropped my earring. 1 second.
Darn.
Hold on. give me 1 second, gang.
Uh-oh.
Drop the other one too now.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. I just need to turn the light on. Just hold on for a second.
Ah.
Okay.
Damn.
It's the old.
Too, didn't it?
It's the old
we
earring
moving on
lost.
to?
Earring lost in the carpet.
What's happening, Fala, is this was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. You are all remarkable in the achievements you've had, but you're not above the law. And The new governor wants to set an example. There is to be a vote. You will then appear before a jury of your peers and appropriate judges, and a sentence will be handed out.
A sentence for what Jimmy just did back there? Is that, or
No.
is there?
For all of you. There is concerns that you are all becoming too powerful, and could eventually be a liability to Sturgeon.
Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, they're here. The Nightmare Detectives, they're helping everybody. They're keeping this place safe. I mean, I'm here. I don't even technically belong here, but everyone else is being. I mean, they're saving everybody and protecting this place, and suddenly
At
they're
what
criminals?
cost?
That's bull.
At what cost? The damage you have all
Well,
wrought.
I see your point. This feels like the carpet's been just taken out from under them and us, all of us. This is. I mean, I do understand the point, and while I can sympathize, it's. I mean, come on, right?
He just pinches his nose and says, "There has to be a reckoning. As someone once said, no good deed goes unpunished, and all sins must be accounted for. This is not what I want, Fala, but I am beholden to the same rules you are. I'm sorry."
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Are you going to be put on trial for your angel dust use, or? sorry, not the time, but that's. You're right.
He smiles and says, I'm going to miss these talks.
Me too.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask him before he goes?
I guess can I ask you an off-topic question, Endicott, now, or does those have to wait until later?
Why don't you give me another charm roll?
All right.
No.
No, okay.
He gives you a weak smile and says, I have a lot of places to be and many of you to speak to. We'll make time.
That's fair. Catch you around, Endicott.
Catch you around, Fala. And he gets up and leaves. Who else did you want to see?
Oh, we get to pick.
You said you wanted to speak to more than one
Okay,
person, didn't you?
No, I just wanted to talk to Endicott, I guess, out of.
Say that again?
Oh, I just wanted to talk to Endicott.
Oh, that was it.
Those ones. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Let's go to, you know, while Trevin's internet sorts out, should we, I don't know whether we should continue or just wait. Thinking.
We'll wait for a little and see if he just pops back in.
Okay, gang. Jericho, you're up next. Who do you want out of the 4 people? So Fala's just had Endicott. You've got Endicott, Nell.
Province. I thought the OF province.
Province, yeah, sure. they come in and they sit a recorder down, and they say, okay, it is, I believe it's winter, right? Currently, I believe I said it. Is it? I'm trying to remember where I put it in the timeline, or is it autumn?
A couple weeks ago.
Is it autumn or is it winter? I do not remember. Loose.
I want to say it's like if it's autumn, it's like late autumn.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna say it's. Okay. I know where it is. Okay. It's October 23rd, 2023. I am sitting here conducting an interview with one of the accused members of the Nightmare Detectives, the member of the 13th Sentinels, Jericho Branch. Jericho, okay. I know it's my job to ask questions, but, how about I do you a professional courtesy and let you ask one?
Right. Okay. Thank you. So, I'll skip like the getting caught up with thing for the moment because I feel like that'll just naturally happen. So like, are we kind of like fucked on this? Like, is this like bad, or is it just like, this one incident, or is it like, or am I gonna like go out there and there's gonna be like an old timey scroll of like all the past deeds of the Nightmare Detectives?
In a phrase, yeah, you're fucked. I don't know a better way of. Do you remember when we met?
Yeah.
Do you remember what was going on when we met?
Yeah, the all gathering, the trial.
No. What was going on with your group when we met? Don't worry, I'll show you. They pull out their phone, and they have footage of Jimmy rampaging and killing people, innocent people.
Oh yeah, the bone grinder thing.
Yeah. You know, I have a lot of love and respect for you guys, but I'm a journalist, and when I saw that, I was scared of you. You know, the next time we ran into one another, where was it?
Now this is the hotel inertia part.
Yeah. And what happened?
In his head, Jericho has like the flashbacks of like the Tent City the Tent City massacre, the Hunters under the Blood Moon, the Arc Storm shocking the death of the 11, because Nishin Cougar is this counted in the 13 as the captain, or is she like the 14? Does not matter. Same like these flashbacks, like them kind of like killing or being involved in a lot of like violent stuff in the hotel. And it's like, Dean just says, I can see your point.
And what just happened?
From what I understand, there might have been removal of a young gentleman's head from his shoulders. No.
I'm sorry. I meant what recently happened.
Oh, the fractal. Okay. In our preemptive defense, we partook in the fractal hunt. But most, if not all, of the outright, and then he has the flashback of like after with the Victor Mendoza thing. I see your point.
In a word, Jericho, you are fucked. And I have to be honest, that may be for the best of Sturgeon's interests. And I don't take joy in saying that.
Don't worry. You shouldn't, and not as in like you're bad for you're wrong for thinking that. Like as in like a moral you really shouldn't. Realistically, if we as nightmare detectives didn't intervene, didn't do things we did, things would have gotten a lot worse. And realistically, if say there are other forces that can be, I won't name and drop anyone in the anti-Cathera unit that thought that they could do things better. They should have got involved a lot sooner.
You see, the public doesn't feel that way, Jericho. And they feel that in a lot of these situations, you deflect and make excuses. It's everyone else's fault. They should have done this. They should have done that. And I gotta be honest, the buck stops with you. It stops with the detectives. It stops with Nell Lockwood. The anti-Kythera unit should never have had to get involved. And the fact that you still think it's your...
They shouldn't have. When all the shit that happened at the Dusklight Circus, they shouldn't have. Listen,
He gets up and he sighs and says, until you take responsibility, I don't think there's any point to this conversation. And
I'm not deflecting from my part.
He gets out and leaves. He walks out.
That's fine.
I'm trying to make more standoffish characters than ones that actually, because otherwise it's just going to be every NPC agreeing with you, which I told you we got to change that. Okay, Victor. Now, do you call upon Lawyer Mendoza?
I would like to do a weird roll in an attempt to summon the good lawyer.
Okay.
From his vacation.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me a weird roll.
Let's see, come on, go.
Okay. All right. Okay, I need to ask a question. How many of you guys have seen It's Always Sunny?
Me.
Oh, great. Victor, have you seen It's Always Sunny?
No.
You're the only one. All right, gang. All right. For the rest of you, you remember Jack Kelly?
Yeah.
I want you to keep that in mind. You open the portal and a version of you comes out in a suit with a pretty cute outfit like underneath, but like they have like over exaggerated features, like the glasses are way too big, and they say, "Hey, what is up, my guy? I'm Lawyer Mendoza." Wow. I'm the good one. I got big glasses. Makes you feel like a they're really, really powerful, right? You could see my peepers and everything.
Yeah, I kind of need your help. We're kind of getting sued over here.
Oh, no, I've read your case. You're not getting sued. No. No, you've been sued already in time court. You may have been told about that. And you're being sued in the future by the People's Republic of Mendoza for union busting tactics, wire fraud, and it looks like you don't pay your workers. But no, right now this is not a suing. I mean, my big eyes, my big peepers, they could tell that.
Still, I need your help.
Well, Buster, this sure is a wow moment, right? That's something we say, right? Right? How about that pretty cure sky thing, right? It's Did you see what Pretty Cure Peace did the last episode?
Are you gonna help us or not? I say.
Roll a charm roll.
Charm.
He says, I will help you if you sign over your rights as the Prime Mendoza to another Mendoza in the event that you are incarcerated and or put to execution.
Do I get to choose which Mendoza?
No. Well, who would your option have been? Because I think it should be me, super big-eyed lawyer Mendoza.
You're
Wow. I'm fun. I'm at work right now. I'm totally fun. I'm the most authentic Mendoza there is.
Really?
Yeah.
Prove it.
We are in an interview room, and I don't think that's a very appropriate thing to do right now.
All right.
Do you agree?
Is it possible to tweak the contract a little bit?
No. Out of game, you got a 7. You barely got a mixed success. No.
You know, the off chance I should become unavailable or just flat out fucking die. Best at least has some insurance, so in that sense, I'll take it.
Okay. He hands you a contract.
Hey, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. In the case of execution, sentencing for life imprisonment, sign away and make Lawyer Mendoza as the Prime Mendoza. Well, it's either get fucked or get fucked with no insurance. I don't take the insurance, so I sign it.
Okay. You said all that out loud, right? Like as you were reading it.
Yes.
He cocks his head to the side and says, "I didn't say it was me. Nobody said Lawyer Mendoza."
Ha.
He gets up and the portal's still open, and he says, well, I guess something's coming to mind here. You want me to prove I was fun, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. あなたの財産は大切にします。プリキュアメントサ. And he goes through the portal, and it closes, and a second one opens up from the left, and through it walks a very disheveled, very clearly Victor Mendoza. Says, "Well, fuck, man, that took me ages. Hey, Mendoza from Mendoza's. What can I do for you, guy?"
Yeah, so we're kind of getting screwed in this. We're kind of getting screwed over right now in this court or sentencing, whatever this is supposed to be. I think this follows any sort of rigid justice system.
I don't think you quite grasp what you just did, Victor. That was also a scene closer, but that's okay. Victor, do you know who you just signed over that to?
Is it Elder Mendoza?
No. I guess you'll find out. Okay. Let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy, who in your limited state would you like to be talking to you?
Honestly, in the state Jimmy's in now, he wouldn't want to talk to anyone.
Okay. Would you prefer to just be left in the cell?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. That leaves Callista. Callista, who would you like?
I mean, this is gonna suck, but I'm gonna have to choose Muldoon.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear, like, for the whole interlude before this, she's been kind of, like, avoiding him in the way that she's kind of been avoiding everyone. But, like, she hasn't seen him since she got back from the fractal hunt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna suck really bad. Let's do it.
Yeah, unlike everybody else, Callista, you are actually completely shackled. You are strapped to a board, and you are not able to move. Muldoon comes into your... It's not even an interview room, it's more like a facility. And he looks very tired. Very tired and very, very exhausted. No, sorry, not exhausted. Very, very frustrated. And he looks at you, and he doesn't come close. He actually stops about 8 or 9 feet from you. And I'm not going to make you roll for it, Callista. He's scared of you. And he says, "Hi, Callie. Man, who would have thought we'd have been here 9 months ago, huh?"
Certainly not me.
Yeah. I owe you this, Callie. I owe you this for bringing Faye back to me. For giving me a purpose. But in doing so, well, that means I have to make tough decisions. So let's have it out. And he gets a chair and he flips it round, sits on it with the back in front.
Right. I can guess why I'm here. Why we're all here. But I would rather you tell me what it is, what exactly it is you know.
Okay. We have to do this here anyway, so let's do this before you go in. And like a TV show, each of you are going to be read your charges at different points in time. And I want you to imagine it like you're all being wheeled or walked into the court at the end of this. And he gets a bit of paper. Actually, he has 2, Callista, for you. And he will do you in a second. But Jimmy, we'll go to you first. And I think it's going to be Muldoon reading them all out. I think it's just appropriate. He says, James Robert Smith III. You are accused of hiding the fact that you are in fact the living embodiment of the void known as wrath. And then it goes to Victor. Victor Dope Swag Mendoza, for the flagrant abuse of your fractal powers and allowing Demon King Brian to gain power in our world through your own inaction. You are charged with sedition and treason. Fala McNamara, for disrupting the flow of time and causality by engaging in a time loop to protect your loved ones and interfering with the laws of fate itself. You are charged with fear to Mayo. Jericho Branch, for participating in the annulment of the wellspring of magic from which many living creatures draw life from, and for taking a deal with an arbiter of fate You are charged with gluttony. When he gets to you, Callista, he's crying. He hands you a piece of paper. It's an adoption paper. And on the front of it says, on this day, under the watchful eye of St. Martin, stamped by the governor, and in witness of Gary Winston Muldoon, he hereby adopts Callista Galen into his care and charge. And from this day forward, she will carry the name Callista Muldoon Galen. And he says, Callista Muldoon Galen, in addition to the concerns this municipality harbors over your lineage, we have reason to believe that you are, in fact, the killer known as the Anglerfish. And you are responsible for a murder that took place in the spaces in between some 8 days ago. Furthermore, as the spawn of Amos and the harbinger of the calamity, you cannot be allowed to roam free. Your charge and your sin, and his lip quivers, is pride, superbia. And each of you is, oh, and obviously it's Flebs as well, which I'll read for the sake of the audio. Flebs Taylor, for assisting in the freedom of the most dangerous demon residing in the 13 circles of hell, Baal, and an additional charge of being the first gravedigger. You are charged with greed, avaricia. I forgot this earlier, but obviously Jimmy is wrath, ira. Victor is sloth, acedia. Fala is fear, Timeo. And Gula is greed for Jericho. And you are all taken in to the highest court in Sturgeon. And yes, it is the court of the Demon King. And the scene we played yesterday of that vote, that was a vote by the council to indict you on charges. Because while you were away in the working the last case, as I mentioned, there was a murder in the spaces in between. And the body of Paint Heimdall Gunkerson was found. And he had been eviscerated almost beyond recognition. And his body was teeming with eldritch energy, which was the MO of the anglerfish killer. And you are hauled through the process of this trial. And when we did this at the very first session, there was a degree of sass, and I made up a bunch of fun charges. But this time, you are, I would argue, shell-shocked as you stand here. And a new voice speaks out amongst this group. Now, this courtroom is quite large, and these huge creatures, largely obscured, sit on different thrones around the courtroom. And you see Nell and Endicott in different areas, but they aren't talking. But this one human voice speaks up. And it says, Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today to pass judgment over one of the greatest threats that Sturgeon has ever faced. That of the Nightmare Detectives. You see, while this group did start small, with great ambitions, each one of them alone is a terrifying threat. Together, they could cause untold damage. The Sturgeon Disaster Unit, as approved by Attorney General Augusta C. Blackwell, did in fact put out a tier system for danger some months ago. Now, you may be familiar with that. The lowest of them is an avalanche, a localized threat, up to the nuclear, a very high threat, and the beyond tiers, the omega and the boundless. Threats that are so insurmountably powerful, we could not contain them. It is my extreme concern that I report to you that every single one of them, in their own way, is a threat that we could barely contain. Our anti-Kythera unit did take them to task, and despite their overwhelming advantage, these detectives learned fast, and were able to put each one of them on the back foot, even temporarily. I ask you, if this group is allowed to proliferate and grow, what happens if they decide to change allegiances? Take a look at each member of our group here. Jericho Branch. A man full of charm and skill and vigor, but also arrogance. A man who decided that it would be appropriate for him to take a deal with an arbiter of fate. And the crowd begins to murmur. Yes, you heard me right. He decided that he knew what was best for all of Sturgeon and changed the course of history. This man, within him, harbors the powers of several fractals, thanks to the end of our fractal hunt. And he pulls up footage of you, Jericho, in the middle of your attunements as the God Wait, in the Arc Storm, and, I mean, you look terrifying. And he then shows the destruction at the park. We are still repairing St. Martin's Institute of Higher Learning from the last time these people were there, but we have unmitigated destruction at McGraw Memorial Park. The damage total in Sturgeon is over $152 million. Now I ask you, Mr. Branch, how many people died during the fractal hunt?
You know I don't have that number.
Did you ever care to ask?
Thought that never left my mind.
And yet none of you did. Does anyone take a guess at how many people died? Like bystanders.
62.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna guess like a few dozen at least. Yeah, around there. Now I'm scared it's higher.
306. That is how many people died. 306 lives lost in an instant. And let us look at the time traveler. With foreknowledge dangerous for this timeline. Possible that they could impart any number of technological advancements, or foreknowledge that could rip us apart. You should not be here. And by being here, you are a direct threat to our very existence. Moving swiftly along, we have the funny one of the group, Mr. Mendoza, who, despite all laughter, is nothing akin to a virus.
Excuse me?
Get rid of one of you, more of you pop up. How many Victor Mendozas are there in existence?
Infinite.
The crowd gasp when you say that.
Hey man, that's just the nature of the beast, I told the crowd. I didn't ask to be this way.
Isn't that apt? The nature of the beast.
You're one to talk.
The witness will be silent unless spoken to.
Okay. As I whisper, you fucking nerd.
You are tased and you take 3 harm.
Yay!
Yeah, they get.
Where? Where?
Victor Mendoza.
I'd like to roll top to try and avoid that.
Nope.
Oh.
You guys have no. You are in. Actually, well, this is a good point to say that. You have no ability to, like, tap into your powers. Wherever you are, it is suppressing everything. You are just ordinary.
So you're telling me I can't make a portal and just stab him?
Unfortunately not, Victor. I'm sorry.
Zambi.
But when you try, but sure enough, you try, and he says, "Oh, I'm afraid that does not work here. You are in the court of the Demon Kings. Everything that made you what you are, it's suppressed. And Victor Mendoza, you have a mortal enemy, do you not?
Yes.
Have you told your friends what happened to Mendoza Land?
No.
What a shame that they're gonna find out here." He, taps a button and this huge screen comes down. And we see Mendoza Land. And in an instant, it is obliterated. And in its place is a horrific, castle. It is, how does it look, Victor?
I would like to say it's like a very stereotypical, like, fascist army state.
Okay.
Like, you just see, like, armies of minions doing a salute while Patrick sits in his golden throne just like a minion.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And, he says, you brought a fascist, militaristic warlock to our realm who declared war on you, while one of our foremost cryptozoologists built an entire biodome with DNA from you. Creatures that haven't walked the earth for 65 million years with your DNA. You are a threat, Mr. Mendoza.
He got that DNA while I was asleep. How was I supposed to know he was gonna do all those sorts of experiments?
Now,
Okay,
Mr. Jimmy.
Nerd, I whisper.
You are shocked again. You now have 1 harm remaining.
How the fuck does he hear that? I whisper.
Mr. Smith, it is my understanding that you believe you took this void in combat long ago based on the information we have.
Yes.
No, Mr. Smith. That is not what happened. He pulls up several records that show you like different articles of you from many, like decades, centuries ago. Legends of a raging Sasquatch. And in every one of them, they use that word, rage. Just over and over again. And there is, there's a lot that we can dig into there, which I will, I'm so tempted to do now, but I'm not going to. But he says, you have always been the void of wrath. And we know this because of one Dr. Schlengel. He taps the screen and a video plays. And Schlengel talks about how, in his experience dealing with a void, that they are a species. They cannot transfer their essence any more than a sheep can transfer to being a human. It's not possible. What you are is what you are. While the fractals are able to be taken from people the way magical essence can be cut off, it's a species of people. And he says, you might be the most dangerous one of them all. The enemy at our doorstep. A cuckoo in our nest. But of course, you're not the most dangerous. No. That lies with our calamity. Callista Muldoon Galen. Apparently, being the daughter of one of the most dangerous creatures in existence, hell-bent on devouring Sturgeon, wasn't enough for you. You decided to have a little side hustle. Your DNA was found all over Paint Heimdall Gunkerson's body. And witnesses say they saw an anglerfish. Now, could any of you tell me what you see here? And he brings up some photos of you fighting JJ. And you are in your Eldritch form. And you look shockingly like an anglerfish. And the group, you guys think back to that moment when you walked into the big top. What was it Capri told you Azathoth said to Callista?
I have no idea.
He said, you've got paint on you. And Jimmy, you remember the last time you saw paint. And it was in that null space. And he said he was cold. And an anglerfish devoured him. Callista, do you say anything so far?
No, not yet. She just is very, like, tense, still unable to move, just kind of staring at the images that come up.
Yeah. Furthermore, Callista, based on conversations we have recorded with your little entourage, and you might not have realized it, but you haven't seen Capri in a while. The governor clicks his fingers and brings in a very damaged Capri. It looks like he has been tampered with. And she says, he says, sorry, you are destined to be the thing that ushers in a dark age for Sturgeon. And we can't have that. Without a doubt, you are the most dangerous of all. And of course, there's your dear friend Flebs Taylor. The man who made a deal with the devil. Yes, that's right, literally made a deal with the devil and gave him a means with which to escape. Baal is one of the most powerful creatures that the demonic have at their disposal. And now he is roaming free in Sturgeon. I say enough. Now, I may have only just came into power, but I was elected to make sure that change came into Sturgeon, and I will start here and now. Do any of you have anything to say in your defense before judgment is passed?
Say, you know what? I regret nothing.
I won't shock you for that. That's fair.
Maniacal laughter aside. Okay, you replace us. Then who keeps Sturgeon safe?
The anti-Kythera unit has proved more than capable.
Oh yeah? Awesome. Are they like new? Where were they when Mantis Bay was a thing?
Oh, he isn't going to answer you unless you roll for a charm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 9. He says, you understand what a nightmare detective is. Someone who deals with the smaller cases, such as towns that might be under the influence of something. The anti-Kythera unit is there for disasters on a larger scale. And having said that, Mr. Branch, would you mind telling everyone why you decided that it was appropriate to send a void into another dimension of which you did not know where they came from, only for them to come back and wreak absolute havoc on Sturgeon? And he replays the scene of you sending JJ through the portal, and then follows that with the scene of JJ in the sky detonating the bomb on the detective's office. It could be argued that your decisions, your actions, led to those direct consequences.
Let's take action.
Noted.
I tried. And when he came back, yeah, we, the Nightmare Detectives, the people who put him through the portal to begin with, stopped him. JJ's a void too, but like he wasn't thought to be a big boy crime, a big boy situation for the Anti-Kythera unit. But no, it's okay. He just fed on a small town folk people for like generations. That's all cool, right?
Okay. He scoffs, and looks to Fala. Do you have anything to say?
I think honestly, Fala just feels more shame than anything because she took the time machine like without even consulting anybody too, so that guilt was already racking on her, and that she's caused this whole mess. She just kind of hangs her head in shame and shakes her head.
Jimmy, because like you're still powerless. I'm assuming, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Oh, yes, there is some things I want to say so bad.
I feel like I've made you powerless. I feel like I have to commit to that, unfortunately, because they're so worried that you're just gonna, get up and wreck shit that I don't. I don't know. I don't think they would reconnect your abilities to. I guess like you could speak, you just wouldn't be able to move.
All right, Jimmy will sit there then.
I'm being restrained too.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll look at the governor and be like, you spout pretty words to make us look bad. You speak of things that we have done. You say we are the danger of the Sturges. What about you people? You are all a danger to everything, not just Sturgeon. We try what little we can to help the people of this city. I know I have done terrible things. That I will not deny. I will take full responsibility for the things that I have done. My friends here have been nothing but helpful to you wretched people.
Your comments are...
You've enslaved and experimented on those that are not like you. And you say we are a danger to Sturgeon? No. No, sir. You are the danger to Sturgeon.
You hear a couple of grumblings, like you making a point, and he says, "Noted." Which leaves Callista.
By this point, Callista has, like, closed her eyes again, like, listening to everybody else talk. And, she opens them when there's, like, enough silence to realize she's the one being spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, there really isn't anything more that I have to say.
Very well. And the defendant's spokespeople. And, sure enough, Nell, Muldoon, and Endicott step forward. I'll keep these brief for the sake of pacing, but Nell says, I realize you're new, Governor. But I've seen many of you walk through Sturgeon's doors. And you're making a big bloody mistake. These people are the vanguards of Sturgeon. The things you don't want to think about, they are the ones that protect you from them. The boogeyman, the thing that goes bump in the night. The anti-Kythera unit is there, but Jericho's right. They could have stepped in. But no. The job was too small for them. You brought these people together. This government did. You brought them when they were vulnerable. You cultivated them. You turned them into sharper objects than diamonds. And now that they're too sharp, you want to cast them away. Well, fuck you. These are my children. And if you want to take them, then you might as well take me as well, because I'll slit your fucking throat while you sleep otherwise. And, he sneers and says, I don't think we need a toothless old hag to worry about anymore, but you're noted, Sin Eater. Thank you. Muldoon steps up, and she's like restrained, but, yeah. Says, when I took the job for the Sturgeon Disaster Unit, I never would have envisioned that one day you would ask me to turn on the people who got me the job. And I know I can't exactly say a lot, but you know what I will say, Governor? These are some of the strongest people I know. And you know who is sitting right in the center there? Look at her. Because that's my fucking daughter. And she has more power and poise and pride and goodness in her little finger than anyone in this court does. And yes, she might be scary. And yeah, I'm not so sure about what's been going on right now, and I need some answers, and I'll find them. But if you think for a second she is as bad as you think she is, then you're spitting on the Muldoon family name as well. So how about this? I resign. And, he, steps back. And, the governor looks, like, incensed. And, Endicott, walks up. And, he looks tired. And, he says, really, I only think one thing is appropriate at this moment in time. In front of all of you, esteemed members of Sturgeon's committee, the safeguards from the outside world, know that this comes from the heart. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young brother got it bad 'cause I'm green, and then not the other color, so police think they have the... And they cut his mic. And, he is like... He floats up and says, "Good. Now you're all paying attention. These are the people that brought me back. These are the people that made sure that every essence of magical energy in Sturgeon still pumps, that the reason that every creature that draws from its wellspring wakes up with its family, with its kin, with purpose. There is no life in Sturgeon without them. You are cutting off the source when you put them in the ground. Dark days are coming for Sturgeon, and without people to look after it, there is no point in saving it. You will not have Endicott the Effervescent to draw upon either. I will recuse myself if another calamity comes into effect." And he takes out one of the computer dust cans. And he looks like he's going to take a hit, and then he crushes it and throws it at the governor's head. And gives him the double bird and disappears. And the governor...
Love that man.
The governor is obviously incensed. And he says, "Very well. Then it's time we finish this. Flebs Taylor, you will be placed into stasis with no sense of self or connection to the astral realm. These are your sentences as per the laws set out by myself, the governor. Permanent imprisonment with no possibility of parole. Jericho Branch, your powers will hereby be stripped and your body shall be separated from your astral self. Imprisoned with nothing. Fala McNamara, you will be sent back through time and a curse shall be placed upon you by our most gifted wellspring alchemists. If you bypass the laws and attempt to interfere within the time stream, you will be killed. Victor Mendoza, as we cannot confine you to a cell, we will instead invoke the law of the Mendozas, and seeing as you have given up your prime designation, you must face the Demon King in 30 days. To do otherwise will invoke the Leap Clause, and another willing iteration of you shall take your place.
30 days.
James Robert Smith III, your charges will be read to you at a separate date, and, knowing your penchant for rage, we do not wish for you to know the outcome of Callista's sentencing. So you shall be herefore remanded into the care of the Sturgeon Hunting Society, and will be sentenced at a later date. And you are wheeled out, Jimmy, before you hear this, because I know what Jimmy would do. I'm very sorry. Once you are taken out, Callista Muldoon Galen, your current form harbors far too many unknowns, both as a fallen from the Abrahamic God, the rank you hold as an archreaper to Lady Death, and your lineage. So it has been decided by a vote, a majority vote, that your abilities will be separated from your physical body, which will itself be placed into a regressed form of an infant. You will be put into isolation for 3 nights, and summarily executed on dusk of the 4th day. All of you will be temporarily housed within the Tempestra prison as administration finds suitable locations for you to be separated by large distances where you will serve out your natural lifespans. The Demon Court has now spoken. Do unto others as one would do unto you. And each of you is steadily taken away to a legendary prison in Sturgeon, housed somewhere off the coast of Mantis Bay, surrounded by fierce storms, impossible to get out of, because it's underwater, and it houses the most dangerous creatures in existence. And as each of you is placed into a cell on a different floor in the Tempestra, our last image is of a baby Callista cuddling up to Capri and sobbing as the doors to the Tempestra are closed. And far away, we see a mass stirring underneath the dirt as something begins to awaken.